Hello guys. So this is the first video lecture of material content for the course. This is going to be very brief. I just sort of want to introduce why this is important, why it's important to study literature, short fiction, and what I hope you get out of this class. So a few things. First, what is this class? It does count for your creative expression, so there is creativity, there's expression, obviously. So there is artistic elements to this class. It is also a GWR, Guided Writing and Research, so it is writing and research intensive, and the goal of GWR classes is for students to experience sort of one-on-one guidance through the creation of larger writing projects. This is also a major course for English majors. So I can't remember from the roster, but I'm not sure if there's any English majors in this course this semester. But it is going to be a diverse group, so there's going to be a lot of different opinions coming from a lot of different angles, from students in different majors with different backgrounds. So there's a lot of diversity, for lack of a better word, in our opinions that's going to come out in this class. So what is the point of this? Well, first, just to give you a little context, within literature as a larger field, there's no exact agreed upon definition of what a short story, well, I shouldn't say there is not any agreed upon definition. There's a lot of argument about what short stories, what literature itself, and what short stories ought to be, what they should be, what they should look like, that sort of thing. One thing I want you to think about, though, a few things I want you to think about, though, is what people get out of literature, out of that experience of reading, and what it truly is at its core. So I have two quotes here that I think are rather illuminating. One's by Flannery O'Connor. We're going to read one of her stories this semester. Art never responds to the wish to make it dramatic. It is not for everybody. It is only for those who are willing to undergo the effort to understand it. That's crucially important because, you can passively look at art, you can passively listen to music, but you cannot necessarily passively read. You have to put effort into reading, into understanding, into comprehending, into interpreting deeper meanings and themes, and what you personally get out of it. So, as an art form, it is rather different in how you receive it and appreciate it. Fiction reveals the truth that reality obscures. This idea of truth is something we're going to keep coming back to. Life is messy. Reality is messy. It's hard to truly understand everything that's going on in your own personal experience. Fiction, the act of writing, but also the act of reading and understanding fiction, is meant to reveal truth. It's meant to reveal a deeper understanding, a comprehension. We're going to talk a lot about writing as manipulation, which I believe we get to in the next video lecture. But something that all writing has a purpose. So does short stories. The author's writing a story or a novel or whatever it may be, an essay or research paper, for some certain purpose. You probably remember purpose, author audience purpose from English 100. So there's always some purpose there, and at its core, fiction, literature itself, it's the art of life. It's the art of communicating something about the human experience. And in doing so, it needs to reveal some sort of truth. We will spend a lot of time discussing and probably veering into topics relating to psychology and philosophy. They are crucially important when it comes to literature. When it comes to writing, literature, and when it comes to reading it and interpreting it, you have to have an understanding of psychology is really broad. We're actually going to go into the psychology of creative writing a little bit. You have to understand the behavior of the characters. If you analyze a short story psychologically, you may be able to ascertain where a writer's inspiration came from, how their own personal experiences affected their work. And then it goes even further to how the reader psychologically responds to a piece of writing. And as you know, a lot of writing gets into very deep philosophical concerns. One of my these next two quotes are going to sort of wrap this up. I just want to leave you with this idea. But these are two of my favorite quotes, and I think they do a great job of putting into context what we're going to be focusing on for this semester. The job of good fiction is to comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. And then, without literature, life is hell. These two quotes sort of center around this idea that we need literature, often for very different reasons. But it's an active process, obviously, for the writer, but also for the reader. The reader is going to get something out of it. This all comes back to a very basic place of, just communicating, sending a message, and then somebody receives that message. And all of the quote-unquote magic that happens in between there. So that's what the point of this is. I view this class as, we take a lot of principles from English 100 and then go much deeper with them, with a focus on short fiction. So there's going to be a lot of, like I mentioned before, there's going to be a lot of reading, a lot of writing, a lot of discussion, a lot of analysis, all to fundamentally understand how this art form works.